Let's get into it a little bit more. In the moment stuff. Who's your favorite person to introduce? You have one? Is that just like, are they all just sort of like,
it's not like an array of faces. I mean, I have many.
Yeah.
And again, I wrote the book because I forgot more than I can remember. I've been doing this for 21 years.
Yeah. It's
going to be 22 years in February. 22 years in the octagon. Or 21 years, excuse me, in the octagon. And, there's the greats. I mean, there's Chuck Liddell, Randy Couture with that huge pedigree of announcements. The former.
Yes.
The Hall of Fame, Octagon, UFC warrior, blah, 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 blah. And I actually bowed to him in one of his next to last fight because I didn't know when he was going to fight again. I thought this could be it. I have never bowed to anybody in the Octagon.
And that was to
Randy Couture.
Oh, my goodness.
Rampage Jackson, looking at him, and just Dan Hardy, the way we play off each other. TJ Dillashaw, like the other night. On and on. And Ronda, Ronda's great. I mean, sure, like Joe said, true, she got lit up like a Christmas tree. But, she's a warrior.
You were close to that. You were close to the one. I was at both Australia. I wasn't at that one, this most recent one. I watched it here at the Comedy Store in the bar upstairs. I noticed something. I want to know your thoughts, if you don't mind talking about it. If we're going out of line here, you just let me know at any point if there's ever anything you don't want to talk about. But
yeah, sure.
She seemed, both fights on her entrance, to seem a little different. Did you notice this? A little bit paler, a little bit. She seems focused, but not really focused, if that makes sense. She seems like she's on a mission, but
I got you.
Unaware, almost like sort of like nothing there. Like the lights were out a little bit already.
Well, that's also another way that they come in so focused on the prize and focused on their, like, boom. That's their way of handling it. But in Ronda's case, I think in reaction to what you're saying, she and herself knew that she was about to go to war with fighters that were not the fighters she was armbarring on a regular basis.
Right.
She was about to go to war with strikers.
Yeah.
And in the case of Amanda Nunes, who's like Chuck Liddell with a clitoris, it's like, and minus the penis, it's like, this is a woman who can move back, forth, and forward that doesn't just punch you and hit you in the face. She punches through your head.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a boxer named Lucia Riker who was the best boxer ever, female-wise. Vicious woman. Vicious. She's very much like her, and she's probably going to hold that belt for a long time. What it is that Ronda came in, the first fight, I thought she was focused. She just got her ass handed to her.
Yeah.
The second fight, I thought she was focused. She just got her ass handed to her. But the reason I say she was focused, she came into that Vegas on Monday or Friday previous weighing 135 pounds.
Yeah.
Instead of coming in at 150 or whatever and having to lose 15 pounds in 5 days.
Right.
That's focused.
Yeah.
She came in for the kill. What I see in this, and I know that we've heard a lot about this and the conjecture's out there, Ronda needs a new training camp.
Yeah.
There is no excuse in my mind, and I think I have the right to say this because I have been involved in the fight game for almost 30 years.
Yeah.
Far beyond the UFC. I grew up around fighting. I have fought myself more times than I remember in the street and in a ring. I never had a pro fight. I know what it's like to take punches. That's why I introduce these guys the way I would want to be introduced. That's part of the emphasis on how I do that.
Love that.
She came in being told, in Holly's case, that she was invincible. Wrong.
Correct.
Nobody's invincible. Okay?
Yeah.
She came into this next fight without any improvement to be seen in the 48 seconds that we saw, which is flat-footed, no head movement, walking into a devastating striker to fight her fight. Bad judgment, okay? She was out on the second or third punch, fought on instinct, and in a fight like that, when you are out on a second or third punch and halfway on Queer Street, those punches you take after that are the punches that can affect you the rest of your life.
Just memories being shaken out, without a doubt.
I've had multiple concussions. I had to stop fighting when I was 32 because, according to my doctor, it was the second concussion. No, it was the second concussion he knew of. Okay, God knows what's in store for me in the future. So far, so good.
Same. I took a bad one back in my wrestling days. I was out.
Oh, people don't realize how wrestling. I've done multiple sports. Wrestling was the hardest training I ever did. That was just a great sport, great training, but God almighty, people got to realize you get whacked.
Really hard. Sometimes you take a knee to the head. Sometimes you're in a leg lock with your head and it goes right off the mat. People forget concussions is your brain hitting your skull from the inside. It's not from the outside. So those thumps, they count.
Well, they count especially when you've come and you've lost weight and the fluid in your cranial cavity or cranium is less than normal. So every punch you're getting is slapping that brain with less protection against the skull 24 hours after a weigh-in. That's also where the worst damage is. I hold the record in Pennsylvania at 14 for the quickest pin in the state of Pennsylvania.
Really? How fast was it?
I came up against the state champion, and he pinned me in 5 seconds.
Oh, you were on that side of it.
He picked me up, he threw me down, and I don't know what the whole. All I know is it was like, I'm done.
You had me totally baited on that one. I'm not gonna lie. I want to go back to Nunes Rousey for a second. Nunes in the post-fight interview, and this stood out to me. Her quote was, her trainer convinced her that she is a boxer. At some point, she's talking about Ronda's trainer, convinced her that she's a boxer.
That's Ronda.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, all we heard about from Edmund and people around her was how she was knocking pros out, boxers in the ring or in the camp, and I'm like, oh, okay, who'd she knock out? And then we're hearing this and we're hearing that. That's called false advertising, false judgment, and that's wrong. That's a crime from a judge to his athlete.
Yeah.
Tell it like it is. Watch the tapes. Train at it. Judge, is that the way we have to fight? Ask yourself, can I fight in this sport with the evolutionary process of fighters coming along after me that are going to take my head off, as has been witnessed in my last 2 fights? Because quite frankly, the women are getting stronger, faster, bigger, better.
Yep.
Okay?
I want to see Nunes versus Holly Holm.
Oh, I want to see that so bad.
I want to see that.
I think we're going to see it.
So bad. I cannot wait. I want them to get this. That Cyborg ruined our little party that we were going to have at the 145 women's weight class.
Yeah, but now she's facing whatever she's facing in the PED situation,
Yeah.
so we might not see Cyborg for 6 or 12 months.
Right?
Yeah.
So then Holly Nunes, my point with all this, there's sort of this evolutionary thing, which I love that you've pointed out, is it makes one of my favorite fighters look as strong as I think she deserves to look. And I'm talking about the great Joanna Jędrzejczyk, a young lady that
I love her.
I have been in love with since the first
know
time
you
I
do.
saw her.
You're more than like her. You love her.
I love her. I'm in puppy love with Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
You're in love.
The reigning, defending, strawweight champion of the world. She scares me to death. I need a woman like this in my life, Buff. I need a woman that's going to keep me in line, that's going to take good care of me, be a nice lady. I see her Instagrams.
And put Brendan Schaub on his ass next time he talks bad to you.
Exactly. Anybody. She'll take on anybody. I would just have to be careful.